Hey everyone, AstroNerdBoy here. And I am a fan of the original miniseries adaptation of Shogun, which came out in 1979. I've got a blog post on it on my anime and manga blog. But as is typical for Hollywood, what doesn't need to be remade is being remade because, reasons. But I'm curious to see what they will do with this. Anyway, Shogun's FX limited series based on James Clavell's best-selling novel wrapped up production in June and will air in 2023. FX is head boss Landgraf said, "We wrapped physical production on the limited series Shogun in June, which by far is our biggest and most ambitious project ever. We still have a long process of post-production ahead of us, but the show looks fantastic and will debut later next year. The series stars Hiroyuki Sanda, Cosmo Jarvis, and Anna Sawai. Probably butchered that, so I apologize. Written by Justin Marks and Rachel Kondo, Shogun is set in a feudal Japan. It charts the collision of two ambitious men from different worlds and a mysterious female samurai. It's kind of a weird way of categorizing Mariko, but anyway. John Blackthorne is played by Jarvis, a risk-taking English pilot who winds up shipwrecked in Japan, a land whose unfamiliar culture will ultimately redefine him. Lord Tornaga, Sanada, is a shrewd and powerful daimyo at odds with his own dangerous political rivals, and Lady Mariko, played by Sawai, is a woman of invaluable skills but dishonorable family ties who must prove her value and allegiance. That's kind of weird. To be fair, I have the novel, but I have never had the time to read it. So I don't know this right here. I don't know how accurate that is to the novels. In the 1980 miniseries, she does have dishonorable family ties that is mentioned, but I don't think she has to prove her value and allegiance. She kind of already does that. I mean, just kind of, she serves Lord Tornaga, so I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to say there. Anyway, counterpart creator Marks wrote the FX adaptation with his wife, Kondo, who is of Japanese descent. All right. Well, that's a positive. I'm hoping they do what the original 1980 series did. The Japanese, well, with one exception, I would like subtitles for when the Japanese people are talking. They used Raymond Burr as a narrator at times for lengthy Japanese discussions. But I would like subtitles at the very least, and the subtitles to retain the Japanese honorifics, which is what happened with the 1980 series. If you get it on DVD or Blu-ray, if they use Japanese honorifics, those honorifics show up in the subtitles. So, but anyway, Mark's executive produces with late author Clavell's daughter. Kondo is co-executive producer. Shogun is produced by FX Productions. FX greenlit Shogun in summer 2018. It was put on hold for a while, and then it's back. So again, this is one of those series that I'm really curious about. As people know, I have my Japanese ties. Lived in Japan for 2 years. Love anime and manga. But the 1980 series, which I did not watch until years later, was really good. The only things that are dated about it now would be his 1979 hairdo and his 1979 hairdo. It was filmed in 79. Also, the incidental Western music is dated horribly bad, but the Japanese incidental music is pretty good. But the series itself is, if you get past those things, it's pretty easy to get past those two having incorrect hairstyles for the period. But getting past those elements, the 1980 miniseries was just amazing. It's just I watch it every year. It's just that good. I really enjoy it, and I really do have to take the time to sit down and watch, not watch, but read the original novels just to get, because I know that this 1980 adaptation made some modifications. The essential story, as I understand it, is pretty much spot on, but there were things that were cut for time. I mean, it's a fairly long miniseries. I don't remember how many hours it is, but it's quite long. But even still, they had to cut a lot of stuff. Now, if you get this on Blu-ray, the 1981, the Blu-ray, I believe, just plays it straight through. If I remember correctly, I don't think there are any breaks. I could be wrong about that. It's hard for me to remember because I know on the DVD version, I think you could watch it with how it was originally done when it was aired, which means you get your intro and exit at each episode, and then I think they had where you could watch it straight through, and each episode flowed into the next one. But yeah, the 1980 series was just amazing. There's just not, I can't speak highly enough of it. I love all the characters in this. The story is very interesting, following his conversion from being this kind of gaijin to gaigokujin to even beyond that. I mean, he's accepted as a samurai, and that says something about how far he came. And it's more so, and I won't spoil, but there were some bad things that happened when they first arrived in Japan. So it is just like I said, just an amazing series. I'm rambling, but that just goes to show how much I like it. And yes, that is who you think it is over there. But I'll see what the new series does. I mean, hopefully the new series is good. I hear it's going to be less. It's going to be shorter than the original 1980 series. That has me a little bit worried because that suggests they're going to cut even more than the 1980 series did. And hopefully they don't try to change things in the story to meet modern sensibilities, because there's some brutal stuff that happens in the novel and also in the original 1980 series, and they need to keep all that in there, and they need to keep everything, give it that Japanese flavor. Like I said, I want the Japanese elements retained. I want them speaking Japanese, except for Lady Mariko, who knows English. That's fine. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Rambling, but I'm cautiously hopeful about this series, and I'm gonna follow it, and I'm gonna try to review it when it comes out. But anyway, that's all I have. Like, subscribe, all the other stuff, and we'll see you later.